My name is Cryssie, and this is my story. Growing up, I lived with my mom and my dad, and it was a bit chaotic. My parents were into drugs, and we moved a lot because they couldn't support themselves, so we had to move wherever we had family that would support them at the time. And when that family member no longer wanted to support them, we would move again. And so I went to 21 different schools before I was a sophomore in high school, and I ended up dropping out because I couldn't keep up. When I first came to the relief nursery, I was a young married mom with 2 kids, and I was drowning. I was severely depressed. Before I ever walked through those doors, I had already tried to take my own life. I didn't come to the relief nursery because things were going well. I came because I was barely surviving. Almost immediately, it became a safe place, not just for my kids, but for me. I made friends with the staff and other families. My kiddos suddenly had access to activities and support I could never have given them on my own. And honestly, I didn't even know they existed. They connected me with resources that changed my life in ways I didn't know were possible. A few months after joining, I found out I was pregnant again. I was excited and terrified. I knew what postpartum depression felt like. I knew how dark it could get, and before I even had to ask, they surrounded us with love and support and a plan when my daughter was born. I moved from outreach to full services. Lorena started coming to visit me. She kept me sane in those early months when everything felt fragile and overwhelming, and you're running on fumes and fear. Then, when my daughter was 6 months old, her dad and I separated and eventually divorced. It felt like my entire world ended. Suddenly my partner was gone. Suddenly my kids weren't with me every day. I felt like my chest was caving in. And Lorena, she was my rock. When I was emotional and breaking apart, she stayed steady. She reminded me over and over again that this was going to be okay. She spoke from experience, and somehow her words held me together when I couldn't do it myself. When Danny started going to the relief nursery, I was terrified. I hated being away from my baby. But as a newly single mom, it was the only way I could run errands, go to appointments, or sometimes just sleep. It was easier because I trusted them, because I knew my baby was safe, loved, and cared for. As Danny got older, it was time for her to move up to a new class, which meant a new teacher and a new home visitor. I did not like that at first. I thought, how could anyone take Lorena's place? Then I met Stacy. I'll be honest, I was probably a little hard on her at first. I don't like change. But I quickly realized she was just as amazing. And as life threw new challenges at me, she was right there for every step. More recently, I fell into a deep depression. I tried again to kill myself. This time, I ended up in the hospital for several days. I was scared, alone, hopeless, and I felt small, insignificant even. I went darker than I had in years, and again, Stacy was right there. All I had to do was reach out. She helped me with home visits. She helped me pick up my house. She listened. She encouraged me. She reminded me I wasn't alone, even when my brain was telling me I was. Now I work with Martha. And yes, I was standoffish again. I don't like change. But the more I look at my time with the relief nursery, the more I realize something. They never leave. The faces might change, but the support doesn't. I still see the others. I still feel them there. Each person brings a new perspective. Each one teaches me something new about healing and parenting and surviving. And that doesn't even begin to cover the tangible things that they've given us. Countless boxes of diapers, wipes, food, shoes, clothing, winter jackets, things I truly could not have provided on my own. They didn't just help emotionally, they helped us survive. The relief nursery exists to keep families together, to prevent abuse and neglect before it ever happens, and it works. In Oregon, 99% of families in the program like this stay together safely. And every dollar invested returns up to 18 back to the community in better outcomes for kids. But I'm not a statistic. I'm a mom who's still here because of them. My kids are safe because of them. This place didn't just help us, it saved us. The Relief Nursery isn't just a program, it's our home.